to Meet in the Middle Movies. I'm Mindy.
I'm Elin.
And we're that bald couple at the cinema. We just got out of Zootopia 2. And if you saw our non-spoiler review, you know we both liked it. But we're going to get into some more details. Elin absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So why don't you give it a start this time?
Okay, first of all, the character, the beaver, being a YouTube podcaster, I thought was good.
She was fun.
The scenes they show, like, showing how the world is lived in a little bit, I thought was really, really cool. If you watched our trailer reaction to it a couple months ago, you said that you think it's going to be about immigration. I think you nailed it.
The last one was about general racism, like within your community. This one was kind of racism in the context of immigration.
Yeah.
Because the reptiles are not allowed inside of Zootopia.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of outcasts who have to live outside the walls.
But they've been there all along, and matter of fact, when the mystery comes out that reptiles are the ones that are responsible for inventing the weather walls or the environmental wall, whatever makes like every habitat inhabitable for all the animals in Zootopia, because obviously you don't want a polar bear living in like a hot area or vice versa, you know? But I thought
it was a reptile. I think it's no mistake too that she was a woman character, because I think I do kind of feel like
that
we're going through a time we're going through a time in history where we're okay, maybe I'm biased on this just because within the music community I'm a piano teacher and I follow a lot of blog spots and stuff where blog spots, that's old school, sorry. I follow a lot of people online who post about like composing and stuff like that, and one of the big themes in the piano teacher community is, hey, we all know Mozart and Beethoven and stuff, but do we know Fanny Mendelssohn, and do we know and so I won't tangent too much about that, but just acknowledging, and I think this is happening in a lot of different aspects where we're like, hey, let's also, not saying to diminish all of the amazing male inventors we've had. It's just, hey, there's some female ones too. So I felt like that wasn't a mistake, that they're like, let's acknowledge that this woman did this. Another
big theme I thought this movie had was the theme of doing what's right even though you're exhausted from everything that's going on.
Oh yeah, good catch.
There was a big theme of that going on. I think there's a bit of an oligarchy type commentary to it because of the Linksleys being the bad guys, them taking credit for the snake family's invention. And
yes, let's kind of back that up with a little backstory. So basically, this family of lynxes have, they're rich, they're influential, they've taken over the area that's like all under ice and everything.
Polar Town, I think is what it's called, or Tundra Town.
So one of the Linksleys ancestors stole the idea of the weather walls.
Not just stole, murdered. Someone to set the reptiles up to be the villain.
Yes, and then just put the entire reptile area under ice. So that's what he's talking about.
It was kind of a gentrification type deal.
Oh yeah.
Like they kind of, like they wanted to expand Tundra Town, and they wanted to expand it into reptile world or whatever they called it. And then so in order to do it, they need to get rid of the reptiles. So they're the Linksleys' ancestor, who by the way is being celebrated at the very beginning of this movie. He kills his maid, which, by the way, this thing got dark for a Disney movie.
Yeah.
He kills his maid and frames the snake lady.
Yeah.
The Eddie the Snake, his grandmother.
Oh.
He frames her for it so they can create a whole narrative that reptiles are dangerous, reptiles are evil, and eventually they aren't allowed in Zootopia anymore.
Yeah. Yep. So he does a lot of really spiteful stuff and takes credit for her things. I feel like, okay, our generation had like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Reading Rainbow to remind us that many different types of people contribute and differences are a good thing. And now today's kids have Zootopia, I guess.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. I don't think it's an accident at all that every single voice actor that voiced a character that was a reptile, they were a minority.
Oh, yeah.
You had Danny Trujillo, who voiced the lizard.
Okay.
You have Ke Quan, by the way, love him, voicing Edward the Snake. Those are really the only two...
American minorities, then. Yeah.
Those are the only two reptile characters you really hear from in this.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's any mistake, any accident at all. That's what they did. I think there was definitely some messaging. We're much better and much more complete together type messaging.
So cool.
Than in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, there's the obviously applicable social commentary that this movie did. But also I'll go into too how the mystery, the problem that they're trying to solve, and the dynamic between Judy and Nick's, so that's the fox and the bunny. Their dynamic as a cop duo, and the mystery that they're trying to solve just had so many fun layers, and it was unpredictable. And I love how this movie always goes to very different, interesting locations, and
we didn't really see anything that we saw in the first movie. It was a lot of Tundra Town. It was a lot of outside of Zootopia. Part of it is a on the run type storyline because of course at the beginning of the movie when Gary the Snake sneaks in and the secret to everything is hidden in their deceased ancestors, the Linksley's deceased ancestors' journal. So he breaks into a gala to steal the journal. He kidnaps the basically the guy that eventually becomes a bad guy. This all happens in the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. And they get framed for helping the snake kidnap him basically and harming Chief Bogo, who accidentally gets stabbed with a fang. Gratefully he's okay. But so there's a bit of a runaway fugitive angle to this.
Really fun. Can I just say how many kids movies are there where they'll try to set up a mystery or something like that, but as an adult watching it, you kind of know, right? For the most part, you usually watch these movies and you kind of know where they're going with it or what it's gonna end up like. Zootopia is for all ages.
Absolutely.
I would have watched this basic storyline in a live action and been totally...
This would have made a great Lethal Weapon type cop movie. I mean, honestly. We're running out of time, so I have one question for you. The big twist where it turns out that Andy Samberg's character has been helping him the entire time, not because he's a good guy, but to basically be a mole and help his family out. Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised only because I feel like they recycled too much. I did not like that we just had another storyline where a character that you think is sweet and innocent. And it was a twist villain situation.
Disney's done that a lot lately.
Recycled.
Disney's done that since Incredibles 2. They did it in the first Zootopia. They did it in Coco. They've done it a lot. As its own movie, century.
It was great, and that's why I really didn't come down on that very hard.
But that's what you were talking about when you mentioned that they repeated some things too much. Okay.
That was too recycled in my opinion.
All right, well, guys, I think that's going to do it for our spoiler discussion of Zootopia. Don't know when we're going to have our next one. We're going to take a little bit of a break for the holidays, but we will be back here very, very soon. So, Mindy?
Yeah, absolutely. So we always get to the end of this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't remember what to say. But you stay bold, we'll stay bold, and we'll see you next time.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.